It's August 6th, 2019. Recorded live.
Live from coast to coast, it's The Dugout with Doug Boyle. On this week's episode, Stevie O talks hot financial advice with Lenny Dykstra and Kurt Schilling. The 5-Minute Professor ties up the 2019 Boston Red Sox to several couches, takes samples of their blood, and determines which one is John Carpenter's The Thing. And Doug Boyle comes in live to the studio to tell us which one of the Twins relievers will blow it in the ALDS against the Yankees. And now, your co-host, the 5-Minute Professor.
A pleasure and an honor. Excellent job, as always. And, of course, that is the one and only, Brandon, with our introduction. And we start with a little thing that we like to call just a bit outside. It may not have anything to do with baseball or fantasy, but let's be honest. Between the four of us, it's very likely to involve some sort of fantasy. What? That may not have come out how I intended it, or exactly how I intended it. I'm not 100% sure. So, Stevie O, you are up super duper early, as always. And tonight is the 101st running of the Belmont Stakes. So, are you a horse race fan, Stevie?
I can't say that I'm much of a fan. I have been to the races a few times and did enjoy that thoroughly. I do enjoy gambling, so it's a fantasy show, of course. But no, I don't think I'll be catching the Belmont today. Sorry about that one.
You're too busy to squeeze like 3 minutes into your day. Well, it's seriously, it is 3 minutes.
As you pointed out from the first during the Kentucky Derby, it's like you just got to find 3 minutes sometime after 5:30 because they'll play it. You can go to YouTube, you can do this thing, and it's only 3 minutes of your life. You know what I mean? If you go to the bathroom and you press your little iPhone, you can watch it.
Of course, the thing which we all know is that the winners. We talk about the horses. We also talk about the jockeys. And you have a decent shot of winning this race if you're the horse, and the jockey can only hope to not make the horse run worse.
Well, we had the horse run by itself in the last race, and it didn't.
Yeah, it came in third to last. Third to last.
So that tells you how important the jockey is.
Yeah, with two people with the jockey on the horse ran worse. The jockey's only job is to make you not run slower than you would have otherwise run.
If I was on a horse if I was jockeying a horse and a horse without a jockey beat me, it would make me have to reevaluate my life choices.
I would change everything. Now, I'm trying to imagine the horse that you could jockey.
They have Clydesdales. There's big horses out there.
There you go. I haven't been to a Clydesdale race yet. That sounds like fun.
The thundering herd. You're actually the whole stadium shakes as the horses are rounding the first turn.
I bet I could sell it to ESPN. Clydesdale races.
I'll bet you could. And of course, they'd all have to be tied to individual Budweiser wagons.
Yeah, we have it's built-in sponsorship. Yep. But Wart Will is still my horse. It was my horse in the Kentucky Derby. It was my horse when it won the Preakness, and if it wins today, then we'll all be saying that dastardly maximum security by bumping him kept us from a Triple Crown winner. But he's not the favorite. Tacitus is the favorite at 9-5. At least it was last night.
I like maximum security's take on the whole thing. Well, actually, his jockey's take on it, I guess, because really hockey needs to be a lot more like pro hockey. And if you're going to try to check someone into the boards Dale Hunter style, I think that should be a go. For once, I actually agree with the president on how a horse race should be run.
You want it to be a little more physical. You want these races to be Ben-Hur style.
No. What he meant was that he thinks there should be an electoral college.
Oh. Yeah, we should let a few middle-aged white guys in Michigan make their decisions on who won.
Absolutely correct.
Is that the truth? Let's see. I know Saturday morning is kind of we're the redheaded stepchild of the network, which is fine. We chose this on purpose because it gives us a chance to try a bunch of different things. We thanks anybody and everybody who's in the chat room. If you want to contact us, the network is at Legend Sports N on Twitter. I'm at Urban Baboon. That's just with 2 B's. Steve's at Kinda Not a Joke, and you catch the 5 Minute Professor on Facebook. So 5 Minute Professor. And if you're trying to get a hold of Brendan, you could probably hang in front of the 7-Eleven around 6 p.m. So that'll work.
Because we did mention, Stevie, and the fact that this is a fantasy sports or a fantasy baseball podcast, can I point out the fact that up until around 5:30 local time in California, I was winning this week, and I had a terrible yesterday against Stevie O.
Are you guys
and I'm currently behind by about 10 points.
You guys are on pace to be the highest scores of the week. I saw that. I've had a miserable week, even though I might win. I made the mistake last week on the Thursday show that I did with him saying, I've been pretty injury-free, so I think I'll pick up Johnny Cueto and speculate down the road. And then this week I had 4 injuries and 2 guys sent down to the minors. So because we're limited to 5 picks a week, I literally can't field a full roster next week. That's how bad it got.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Hey, I'm just riding on the back of Jay Bruce, and I need him to come through with at least 3 more homers this weekend, and I'll probably pull out the win. But I was looking a little rough there at the beginning of the week, Professor.
I up until yesterday. I'm telling you right now, until I started getting the results in from the early games yesterday, I said I am sailing to victory. I'm going to beat him by 100 points. And then yesterday was just an overall bad day for my team.
Jay Bruce on his new team has hit a home run in his first 4 games. That's pretty impressive.
Well, Doug, I find it's a bummer that you're blaming injuries for your team's woes. I mean, the Yankees have 4 people who are not on the IL, and they're still comfortably in a playoff spot.
I'm not playing. I'm not playing in a league as weak as the American League. I don't get the Orioles. I don't get I don't get all these other teams. I don't get the Blue Jays. I don't get the White Sox and the Royals. I play teams that are actually pretty good. Now, admittedly, we do have 2 bad teams this year. I don't know how it is. Like the team that won our championship last year and did it with a very unique strategy of kind of punting on pitching and getting the whole thing. Tried it a second year and he's in dead freaking last. It's kind of funny to go from best to worst like that. I didn't think that would happen. We're the 10 o'clock show. At some point in time, we're trying to get an 11 o'clock show in here. So at some point in the future, there'll be a 3-hour block of programming every Sunday morning here on Lenny Melnick.
This is Saturday.
Is it Saturday? What did I say?
It doesn't matter. It wasn't Saturday.
Was it at least a day of the week?
It was.
It was, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm in the ballpark. I wasn't spouting out Jewish months or something.
Yes, true.
That's good. And 12 o'clock.
There'll be a 3-hour block every Ramadan.
At noon today, you got Lou Lucas and Lou Landers and
the Lulus. Is that the name of their show? If their show is not the Lulu Show, I don't know what.
I told them that when they started it. They call it the Lou Cash Show because it's like their names jam together. Like, no, you're Lulu. Lulu's fun to say. There's Lululemon. There's this great TV show on Stars based on a Elmore Leonard novel called Get Lucky, and there's this great character who is a Mormon, a strict Mormon hitman, and his name's Lulu. It's just good. It's Lulu. But Sunday night, we normally have Rottweiler at 11. He's there at 11, but I believe the Farrell brothers will be on at 10, so we're building a little bit of a Sunday night show. 9 o'clock in the morning on Monday, we're back to Lenny.
So just so we're clear, Rottweiler is not spelled like the dog.
No, it isn't. It's like his name is like...
I was sure it was, and then I saw on the rundown today, I said, that's not how you spell the dog.
His name is like Roto, like it's Rot something long and probably
but it starts
Slavic.
with a W.
Yeah, there's a silent W there.
Yeah.
As in right.
Yes. I'm just throwing it out there. That
As in right, right?
It's not like the dog. Correct.
No, it isn't.
Rottweiler. And just before that, you said the Farrelly brothers.
It's the Farrelly brothers. It's a real coup for the station. Don't tell anybody. We got the Farrell brothers. They're Farrell brothers, maybe. I don't know. No, they're a couple brothers who like fantasy baseball, and they're rejoining the cast of thousands. I'll also be on Thursday night with Fancy Fisticuffs to discuss the Twitter exploding. Give us a pot of a strain of pot name based on baseball themes, so that'll be fun. Because
I made a Twitter post on that. I thought I had a couple decent ones, but
I'm assuming there's already something called High and Outside, right?
I don't. I'll give you a hint. This is not the winner. He's literally going to name. He's going to pick a winner. He's actually going to create a strain for that. He's a legal grower in Oregon. My favorite that I gave was Bobblehead Night, but no,
that's a good one.
I like High and Outside. That's it's got a kind of I don't know, outdoor activity vibe to it. High and Outside.
Go ahead.
I like that one as well, Professor. It works. You got an outdoor strain, and it goes with baseball. I love it. Yeah.
The beauty is, like, we get together to get people to talk baseball, and I'm talking about, like, our 20 downloads or whatever, and I'm, like, really excited about this. On Twitter, there were 29 active users giving 115 different names, just how crazy that is. We know where America's priorities are.
Your fingers on the pulse.
But that brings us to...
hey, well, maybe that's a way to get young people more into baseball, Just put the two together. You go to the baseball game and you get a free joint as the stadium giveaway that day.
I'm sure the Rockies could do that.
I spoke a couple of weeks ago about the Illinois like DFS law they were going to put into place, but the truth is their new governor passed a law legalizing marijuana, and then he passed a law legalizing gambling, and he says, well, he literally said, we can't beat these things, we may as well tax them, which people have been saying for years, you know what I mean? But he's all for it, so yeah, in very short order, you'll be able to, smoke what you like at a Wrigley game and put money on the next batter. And Chicago's going to be the new Las Vegas, is actually what he was saying. Kind of crazy, huh?
What we're really saying it to our fans of the dugout is this. We're hip, young, fresh fellows like yourself, and we're totally not narcs. And we're wondering if you know where you can find any of the drugs.
Yeah, I'm using words like drugs because I am really entirely scared as a 50-year-old man that the words that I know that mean marijuana are going to sound like I'm saying groovy cats or 23 skidoo. So I'm only going to call it marijuana. I'm not going to say anything else.
I don't know if you've seen any of the demographic information about our listeners. It'll be fine, man. They'll all think it's groovy, man.
That hasn't changed. All our listeners are still 55 and older, and they're men. So
no negative vibes, Mariotti. No negative vibes.
Well, we're 13 minutes in. I think it's... Steve, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready as I'll ever be.
I think it's time for the rundown. This week's rundown is brought to us by asbestos. It's 2019, and the scientific community is scamming you about climate change and vaccines. Why do you believe their lies about asbestos? We're pretty sure they just made up mesothelioma. Asbestos. Hey, it's not the best advertising, guys, but it keeps the lights on.
All right, it's Stevie O here with everything that Doug wants you to know on this lovely Saturday morning. We got some big signings this week after the draft, and the pick compensation was taken away. Dallas Keuchel went to the Braves for a 1-year, $13 million deal, and Craig Kimbrel went to the Cubs for 3 years, $43 million.
I cannot wait to see him blow saves in the playoffs. You know what, though? Not signing till now has really Craig Kimbrel. All joking aside, Craig Kimbrel was actually great in the regular season and then not great at the end of the year. And it may have just been that we overused him. But the fact that he's gotten all of this rest and he won't really start pitching until June, if he's any